What's good, YouTube? Nova here, bringing you guys my, well, not really updated Bujin deck. We decided to merge Bujin with Fire Fist, so we're going to take a look. It's been working out pretty good, so let's just jump right into the list. Starting off, we're playing 3 copies of Bujin Yamato. Yamato is one of the main guys if you're trying to start the deck, like start rolling into the engine. He just sits there, and then during the end phase, you add a Bujin monster from your deck to your hand, and then you get to send 1 card from your hand to the grave. So he's pretty useful with searching out things like Crane, Turtle, Hare, or even just the other Bujin Beast Warriors. Oops. We're playing 2 copies of Bujin Mikazuchi, another Beast Warrior. Mikazuchi is pretty much... if a Beast Warrior Bujin on your field is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you get to special summon this card from your hand. And then his other effect is once per turn, when if you sent a Bujin monster, if a Bujin monster was sent from your hand to the graveyard, while you controlled this face-up card, you get to add a Bujin spell or trap card from your deck to the hand. But you can only control one Mikazuchi. Same with Yamato, you can only control one of them at a time. Bujin Harume, basically, you can't normal summon him. You can't normal summon in set, but you can special summon him by banishing a Bujin monster from your graveyard, which is really good, because, like, you know, why not? And then also his other effect, if the card was summoned this way and is destroyed by battle or by opponent's card battle or card effect, you get to each player draws 1 card and then each player discards 1 card. So kind of irrelevant, but you know, it happens. 2 Turtle. Basically, whenever a card effect is activated except during the damage step that targets one of your Bujin Beast Warriors, banish this card from your graveyard, negate the effect. Standard. 2 Bujingi Hare. Whenever during another player's turn, you can banish this guy, and then once this turn, a Bujin Beast Warrior cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. So pretty standard. And then 2 Bujingi Crane. Basically, during damage calculation, during another player's turn, you can discard this card, so that a Bujin Beast Warrior attack doubles. And it's only for that battle. So because we're playing Fire Fist with this deck's only 13 Bujin monsters. So just 13. You don't need more than that. Moving into the Fire Fist engine, we're playing 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. Basically, Bear's interaction in the deck is so he can pop a back row. Basically, you summon him, you activate Tenki, you search him, you summon him, you activate his effect to blow up a monster by popping the Tenki. He's very good, but also when he inflicts battle damage, you get to set a fire formation directly from your deck. So pretty good. He helps you remove a problematic monster, plus he lets you keep going by setting up for possibly a next turn Yamato or something like that. We're also playing 1 Gorilla. Gorilla's in this deck mostly just to help with back row. Basically, same thing. You summon him, you activate the Tenki, or there's a Tenki already on board or whatever. You pop it, and then you pop the back row. But he has a different thing other than Bear, whereas he has to destroy a monster. So he's a little bit more difficult to actually get his effect off. But you can in this deck, kind of okay. And then for the just for the rest of the fire formation somewhat stuff, because these aren't technically Fire Fist monsters, we're playing 2 copies of Coach Soldier Wolfbark. Basically, Wolfbark is his effect is just target a level 4 Fire Beast Warrior type monster in your graveyard, special summon it in face-up defense position. Its effects are negated, of course, but who really cares? It's just a free 1 card exceed. Very useful, like late game or even mid game. It's a very good card to go into. And that's it for Fire Fist stuff. But for the last 2 monsters, we're playing 2 copies of Max C, just for a little bit extra draw power, considering how fast the meta is right now. This deck can be very slow in setup, so if your opponent's going off and you Max C and you get like 3 or 4 cards or more, you're gonna be rolling pretty fast. So 21 monsters. Next, we got the fire formations. We got 3 copies of Tenki. Basically, Tenki is just activated. Search your bear. Search any of your Bujin Beast Warriors, your Gorilla, or your Coach Soldier. So a lot of targets in this. A lot of targets for Tenki. I think there's 13. 2 Fire Formation Tensu. It's basically during your main phase, you get an additional normal summon of a Bujin, of a Beast Warrior type monster. So you can still go ahead and summon like Turtle if you want to, and then activate Tensu, and then you get the summon of the Beast Warrior. So it allows for the deck to somewhat meld together. Because if you get those hands where you can't really exceed someone, or you don't have Yamato, but you have a Gorilla, you have a Tensu, and you have a Turtle or something like that, you can still exceed summon into like Susanoo. So that's it for Tensu. 2 Bujin Carnation, just for, again, more exceed purposes. It really helps in late game when you just open top deck this card and you just 1 card exceed. It's very good. Next up, we're playing 2 copies of Pot of Duality. Basically, Pot of Duality is in here because you are just going to be sometimes using Yamato. So you just activate Pot of Duality, reveal 3 cards, you add whichever one you want, summon Yamato. You don't really have to special summon. Also, if you don't have the means to special summon, like you just have a bear, you can activate this. You can go bear, pop something, and then activate Duality and find something else. But when Ties of Brethren comes out in the TCG, we'll be replacing the Pot of Dualities with that card. So that's that. We're playing 2 Twin Twister. This deck has a couple of discard outlets for this card, like the Turtles or the Hares. It's just blow up your opponent's back row. You know, nothing really too big to talk about. Playing Soul Charge, just for a standard, you know, bring back any monster, really good. We're playing the Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial's in here to dump Hares, Turtles, or even just if you have a Wolf Bark in hand, you can dump any Fire Fist monster or like any Fire Fist monster you want, bring it back, just as a interesting thing there. And then just last spell, we're playing 1 copy of Raigeki, just to finish off the spells. For traps, we're playing 1 Vanity's Emptiness, just to lock the board down when you have a big board and your opponent can't deal with it. You know, you just lock it down with Vanities. The 1 Bottomless, again, deals with monsters. The 1 Time Space Trap Hole, just because you don't really pay that much life. Well, I mean, you do pay some life in this deck, but Time Space is a really big card to deal with certain decks. The Warning and the Solemn Strike. It's just a standard 5 traps. Moving on to extra deck. We got 2 Bujinki Susanoo. Basically, Susanoo, he needs 2 level 4 Bujin monsters, so he's not so generic, but he's okay. Basically, he can attack all monsters your opponent controls, which is awesome, because, like, you know, a 24 that can attack everything is pretty good. Also, you can detach 1 Exceeds material to add a Bujin monster from your deck to your hand. Well, actually, you can either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. So you can either get that crane to hand, or you can get the turtle or hare to the graveyard. So very good. We're also playing 1 Bujinki Kagasuchi. Kagasuchi is 2 Beast Warriors, 2 level 4 Beast Warriors. So he's a little bit easier because you have those Beast Warrior options with the Fire Fist and the Wolf Barks. Basically, when he enters, you send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and for any Bujin card you find, he gains the 100 attack. So, I mean, okay, if you find a Bujin or a card, it's not so bad. You know, he'll get a little bit stronger, but that's not the main purpose. The main purpose is whenever a Bujin Beast Warrior type monster is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can detach 1 Exceeds material instead. Now, he gets that effect on himself as well, so that's pretty handy. And then, so that's it for Bujin. Extra deck monsters. And then we're playing 2 Brotherhood of Fire Fist Tiger King. Basically, Tiger King, he's when he enters, he sets a Tenki or a Tensu. He's 2 Beast Warriors, so he's generic. But also he gets this effect that he's a skill drain for anything that's non-Bujin. I mean non-Beast Warrior. I keep saying that. We're also playing for Brotherhood of Fire Fist monsters. We're playing one Cardinal. Cardinal is a little bit harder because there's not as many options to get 2 Fire Fist monsters on the field. But with Tensu, you can pull off Cardinal. So like if you go like Tenki, if you have a Tenkis and stuff in grave, the ability to bounce cards back and get your Tenkis back is pretty good. So Cardinal is kind of a must in the deck. And then for our last somewhat Beast Warrior support or Beast support, we're just playing one Diamond Dire Wolf. Diamond Dire Wolf just in this deck because basically you bring him out, you pop him, you know, that's pretty standard. Next up, we're playing the big 3, just kind of somewhat big 3. We're playing the 1 Silent Honor Arc for absorbing, the Castel bouncing, and the Gaga Gaga for game. Gaga Cowboy for game. That's pretty standard. And then for the other monsters, we're playing 1 Traptrix Rafflesia. Traptrix Rafflesia, basically, if you can pull this guy off, well, I guess girl, on first turn and just sit on her, you get to use those time space or the bottomless from your deck. So really good. It's actually a really good card. Just first turn, if you can pull her off, it's not too bad. Next up, for another one-up, we're playing 1 copy of just Constellar Omega. Omega, really good. Just he's immune to pretty much back row. So not all Constellars though, but he's the only Constellar, so not much he's going to be protecting. And then for the last lineup, we're playing 1 number 39 Utopia, which then goes into number C39 Utopia Ray, followed up by number S39 Utopia the Lightning. Just mainly to combat Cosmo. So that's it, guys. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.